So again, yes, welcome to Hong Kong Horror. So yes, this is my kind of my October tradition, where for the month of October I spent a little bit of time and we tell you different stories of different ghost stories, ghost and horror stories from my hometown of Hong Kong. And today we have the story of Rosie, or as we call her, Amui. So her name is lost to history, unfortunately, but the story of the braided girl from the train is pretty damn tragic. And yes, we are going to be. So the protagonist of our story today is Rosie, and you will meet Kevin a little bit later. But we'll talk a little bit about Kevin a little bit later. So again, according to the U.S., the cilantro is the plant. I mean, they are kind of. I mean, seed and the plant don't taste the same. That's a big thing, Timmers, right? I mean, seed. The seed is a little bit more mild. I think it doesn't have that soapiness, whereas the leaf does. Probably something about the growing process as well too, right? So, but anyway, remember earlier I said that my grandma used to work as a little dim sum as a dim sum cart pusher when she was when she was young, around the time she met my grandfather. So Rosie was one of those. Rosie was one of those girls. So this is the story of the girl from the braided girl from the train, or 邊仔妹，馬料水嘅邊仔妹，妹鬼. So the legend goes, as the legend goes, this was probably before the Second World War. Rosie was a young girl. She was growing up. She grew up dirt poor in her village, somewhere in central China. Like a lot of people, again, before the Second World War, it was a very hard time in China. People were moving around. They were going everywhere. Wherever there was work, wherever there was money, opportunity, they would go. One of those cities that had those opportunities was Guangzhou. I would say this is probably around just probably before the war. Probably, let's say, around 1933, 1935. No one knows where Rosie really was from. Amui, 小妹, or we call it 小妹 in Mandarin, or Little Rosie. So she arrived in Guangzhou around the early 1930s, and she found work as a dim sum cart pusher at a dim sum restaurant in Guangzhou. Life was hard, and she was living with a couple of her like sworn sisters, in a cramped apartment somewhere in the suburban area. Life wasn't easy, but Rosie really exactly, Timmers. Life wasn't easy, and the war really didn't make it easy. Made it even harder. I mean, I'm not really going to get into the whole political or historical context of what happened during the war, but there were some pretty fucking nasty things that would happen during the war. But somehow Rosie survived. Just like my grandparents, they survived. And this is where she met Rosie just after the war, around 1947. She met a man. I'm trying to remember his name. He was a very strapping man. He was a strapping young man. He was an heir to a martial arts school. I'm trying to remember. Yes, his name was they call him Strong Boy, Akung. Yes. Oops. Strong Boy was a cutie. He was definitely a looker. He was a ladies' man. And boy, oh boy, he had survived the war. He had fought against the Japanese alongside with the British and the Nationalist Chinese, and they won the war. And his grandparents, was the four people of a certain martial arts. I'm not really sure what it was, but one day, Strong Boy and and his friends went to this dim sum restaurant where Rosie was working, and boy oh boy, Rosie was just completely smitten. And by the way, Rosie, I'd say probably about stood around 4'10", 4'11", short little girl, short little woman. But she had a beautiful, but even in her hardest days, she always kept her hair beautiful. She had beautiful, long, jet black hair. And she always took great pride every morning in braiding it into this beautiful French braid. One long braid. Damn, everyone called her the little Q girl. So, her boss called her little Q girl. We call her Rosie. Exactly. Oh, this was the 1940s, of course. So, I mean, men would come to the restaurant. Come to this dim sum restaurant just to look at Rosie. I mean, her boss was very happy. I mean, they made bank every day, just because Rosie. And people would actually get mad if Rosie wasn't at work that day. So poor Rosie, of course, had to work many extra shifts. But this was 1947. But somehow, who knows? Strong Boy and Rosie hit it off. So as Rosie was handing Strong Boy a plate of shrimp dumplings, their eyes met, their hands touched. It was love at first sight. Love at first sight. If you kind of believe that kind of crap, right? They fell madly in love, and soon they were in love. And soon, again, this is just a secondhand account from some of her old colleagues, or alleged old colleagues, anyway. But they hit it off, and they moved, and Rosie and Strong Boy moved in together. And they lived a pretty happy life. But trouble was brewing. Yes, it was the Communist Revolution. The Communists and the Nationalists had picked up their little civil war after the Japanese were defeated. And yes, Strong Boy's family were big nationalist supporters. And yeah, they had to fucking book it. Man, this was hard. So they had about 2 years. So this is about 1949 now. So this is around the same time my great uncle was around. So I'm not saying that my great uncle actually told me parts of this story, but you can come to your own conclusions on this one here. But my again, fun fact again. Last time I saw my great uncle, apparently I was told that he was a big party cadre in Guangzhou. So yes, so whenever we went out to dim sum in Guangzhou, everybody knew my great uncle. And but anyway, so a big thing here. So no worries. Yeah. So great uncle, yeah, but yes, this is 1949. By this time, yeah, things were getting a little hairy. Strong Boy's family had already ran off to Hong Kong by that time. So, but Strong Boy still had the school to take care of. He was the heir to the tradition, so he couldn't just leave. But and also he was a strong nationalist supporter. So he didn't run. He was willing to fight to the fight to the end. But Rosie wasn't so keen. So she begged, she pleaded, she cajoled Strong Boy. Strong Boy, please, we just gotta get out of here. We can go back to my family. We can hide there until it's clear. Then we can escape to Hong Kong, and then we can join your family. She pleaded, she cajoled, but finally Rosie got her way. So just as the communist forces arrived in Guangzhou, Strongboy and Rosie were taking the train back to her home village. And they got there, and they just returned to their unassuming lives. I mean, they each had a meager living. I mean, Strongboy went to work in the factories under an assumed name. No one actually recognized him, and also he tried to teach his martial art in secret. So, meanwhile, his family was kind of completing, was continuing the tradition in Hong Kong. So that, but by and large, though, there was one day, Strongboy got a little bit mad at his supervisor, and they got into an argument. Oh yeah. So this is about, I'd say this is probably around 1951, 1952 now. So by this time, they've also been married. They're not kids yet, because again, it is a bit of a hard time. So, but Rosie, by this time, really wanted to Dali Shi. Sorry, what was Dali Shi again? I don't speak a lot of Mandarin, unfortunately. My Mandarin is a little bit spotty. So again, if you can just if you have an English translation, please help me with that. I'm so sorry. I'm just you think I probably would know, but I don't, unfortunately. So I do apologize about that. So yeah. So they went in. So by this time, Rosie kind of wanted to escape already. I mean, life was already pretty hard. 1951. This, I believe, was around the same time my uncle and my aunt's mom was starting to think of making a break from Guangzhou all the way to Hong Kong. During that to get across the bamboo curtain, there was multiple ways. You could either sneak into Hong Kong by swimming across the Assumption River, and then taking the train into the city where you can claim asylum, or you could go to Macau and swim. You can swim across the water into Macau, or you could swim to Hong Kong. Fun fact, by the way, one of my uncles actually chose to do that, and somehow he fucking survived. He was a very strong swimmer, so he actually survived. So Rosie and Strongboy, after Strongboy's arguing with his supervisor, started making plans for escape. Strongboy wasn't having it, though. I mean, he had a bit of a temper. Boy had a temper. Boy, did he have a temper. His supervisors dressed him down. Gave him the whole communist talk and everything. So Strongboy. Oh, Dalishi. Yes, Dalishi. So yes, Strongboy, yes. So, but his name was actually Akiang. Akeng in Cantonese. Aqiang in Mandarin. Akeng in Cantonese. So, or Dai Keng Lo. So, Dai Keng Lo in Cantonese. So, Daikeunglo. If you want to kind of translate that. So, Dai Keng Lo. So, or Dai Keng Zai if it was his grandparents. So, boy. Strongboy had a hell of a temper. And he still had a service pistol. His service pistol from his time with the Nationalist Army. Oh boy. Rosie told him not to do it. Rosie, once again, just told him, just don't do it. Bite your tongue. We'll escape tomorrow. No. Strongboy wasn't going to have it. Strongboy wasn't going to have it. No. Again, I'll get to the point a little bit later. The story's still coming. So, and yes, remember that whole Nancy Sinatra song, "Bang Bang, My Baby Shot Me Dead"? Yeah. But Strongboy went to the supervisor's house and shot him dead with his army service pistol. Whew. Jeez. Boy, oh boy, did that got to that started an almighty row. At this time, at this time, Rosie was still kind of finding ways to. to pay off the human smugglers to kind of get them across the border safe, get them across the river, the Pearl River Delta safely. She'd been scratching, saving, trying to pay the human traffickers to get them safely into Hong Kong. But oh no. Strong Boy decided no. I'm just gonna shoot my plant supervisor. So, guess what? They had to book it the same night. And yes, under the cover of darkness, they booked it. They made their way south on foot, slept during the day, hid themselves from the police. After about 3 days of walk from their home village, from Rosie's home village, they made it to Shenzhen, or Samzan, as we call it in Cantonese. They made it to Shenzhen, which is within a stone's throw of British Hong Kong. All they need to do now was just to cross the river. They had to cross the river, the Shenzhen River, which is very slow, not a hard walk. Dodge the patrols, avoid the British police, the Royal Hong Kong Police that is guarding the restricted area. Hop onto the train, hop onto the KCR, and then get into the center, get into the government building on the island, and they were home free. They could declare themselves as refugees, and they could be safe and live forever in peace and harmony wherever they wanted. In Hong Kong, they could. And yes, Rosie had always heard about this place called Australia. Apparently, one of her old clients at the dim sum restaurant had made his money in a place called New Gold Mountain in Melbourne. So Sun Gum San, which is called New Gold Mountain. And yes, they brought and this guy brought like a big Akubra hat. He actually wore a big Akubra hat. Rosie was always fascinated by the stories that this man told him. And Strong Boy was like, you know what? If this is where you want to go, honey, we'll go. We'll go to Melbourne. But the first thing, they had to go to Hong Kong. They had to go to Hong Kong. And crossing the river, bit of a snap. Avoiding the Royal Hong Kong Police was the hardest thing. Because on the train, on the Kowloon Canton Railway, which terminates at the border, starting in 1949, after the bamboo curtain was closed, there was a much more heavier guard presence to keep the kind of the what they call the bamboo curtain nice and firmly closed. People were still kind of able to go in and out pretty legally, but it was kind of hard to get papers. So a lot of people would illegally cross the border from Samzan into, which is the area called Luowu, or Luohu in Mandarin. So that is where the KCR would start. All they need to do is take the train to the end in Jimsazui, take the Star Ferry into Central, walk in the building, declare themselves as refugees. Easy, right? Sure. I mean, it was easy. It was it's a nice leisurely train ride down the Kowloon Canton Railway, which is now called the East Rail, or Dongti, today. So they got across the border. Okay, absolutely. Strong Boy. Seriously. He would give Rosie the world. So they crossed the border. They got into Luowu Station. But I think a train had been I believe back at that time. According to my dad, apparently trains were only once an hour. And somehow, by a sheer stroke of luck, the train was just arriving. There was just a train that was just arriving. There was a whole shit ton of people coming in and out and in and out. So after they crossed the river, they kind of changed into the river. They were able to just blend into the crowd and hop into the train. And yes, they didn't buy a ticket either, of course. So they kind of just snuck in and they got a train. Yes. Had to kind of wade through like all this, like, there was like a whole, and inside the train there was like a whole, it was crowded. So again, having the train, like trying to get through the train, especially, I believe it was a holiday as well too. So I believe it was close to the Lunar New Year season. It was a little closer to the Lunar New Year season, so a lot of people were either going up. Actually, I think it was close to the end of it as well too. End of it at the time when they escaped. So a lot of people were heading back to Hong Kong. So southbound trains would have been packed to the brim. So Rosie and Strongboy were able to just kind of get in. So they took the train. So the train took off. They were standing, but they felt almost free. They were almost there. They were almost home free. There was about probably 6 or 7 stops. Again, today I think the same line had about 14 stops. There's a few more that they've added since Hong Kong's been growing. So they got in. I mean, hey, got across the border, and now they're jumping the fare gates? Seriously, how fucking badass is that, right? So, I mean, how are they going to cross the Star Ferry? We'll talk, again, how the hell I'm never going to know. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a few seconds. But is she going to make it? Yeah. Remember that braid we're talking about? That's going to come in handy. That's going to come in very important in a few minutes here. This is going to be a hard one. So, folks, again, this next section is going to be this is going to be not PG. So please, please, please be aware. So, train chugged along. By this time, so they've left Lo Wu. They've passed Sung Sui. They're passing Fan Lang. So they passed the city of Fan Lang. I think you can actually catch a glimpse of the Fan Lang golf course. Which is like a very, very high-end course for like expatriates, a lot of British people. Strongboy saw that and we were like, yo, that's so pretty cool. Honey, if we ever make it here in Hong Kong, can I buy a membership? Rosie said, yes, honey, we can. They were so close. They were so good for each other, seriously. But the train chugged along. So, Lo Wu, great. Sung Shui, clear. Fan Ling, clear. Tai Po Market, this was the first major center, and that is when trouble began. At Tai Po Market, or Tai Po Hui, that's when they saw 3 police officers aboard of the train. They were getting ready to kind of search the train to kind of get on the road to do the patrols. Yes. Rosie River, so yes. So her Chinese name was Xiao Mui, so Xiao Mei. So that's why we call her Rosie in English. So yeah, the police got the Popo got on train at Tai Po Market, and the train left, and by that time, Rosie and Strongboy had actually found a seat. They had kind of drifted off. And then all of a sudden, it's like, Hong Kong police! Everybody! ID cards! 香港警察! 香港警察! 身份證! Rosie and Strongboy just woke up. Oh, shit! They're illegal immigrants. They don't have fucking ID cards. Fuck. Oh, fuck. No Riveters. She was a dim sum card lady. So, I mean, so kind of like my grandma, but fuck. So, I don't have a red book. So, my great uncle probably might have one, but anyway, so yes. Unfortunately, I don't have my Xiu Hong Su as well too. So, although there's actually fun fact, there's actually an app that actually talks, again, a social media app in China these days called the Little Red Book, or Xiao Hong Shu. So it's funny. So yep. Intense. We'll do Cards Against Humanity in just a few moments. But so again, car go in the train car. The officer bellowed, 香港警察!
Dicky!
香港警察! 要睇你身份證! 睇身份證!
Oh, yes, Daddy.
Oh, man. They freaked out. So so Rosie and Strong Boy got up. They were slowly moving towards the back of the train. They were in about the middle of the train. It's about like 9 or 10 cars train. So it wasn't like a short train, but they still had some room to run. So the train kind of continued down south. As they kept on moving down south, they passed a place called Ma Liu Sui, which is now known as University Station, or Dai Hok. So across of it is Tolo Harbor. But there was a section. So this is actually something that Strong Boy actually learned from other people who actually had somehow escaped. So through his letters with his aunt, who took the same route, they said, if the cops get on at Taipo Market, there is a place just around Ma Liu Sui, you could jump off. There's a concrete bridge you can jump off into a creek that you can get away. Strongboy remember that. And the bridge was coming up. Cops were on their tail. I mean, the cops were probably about a car away now. Exactly, right? So no, sorry, Ty. I'm sorry. We'll get to all the redemptions in just a few moments. I'm so sorry, but so they came very close to the bridge, and they were at the end of the train. The end of the train was open, so that the door was open. Only a little kind of like a folded gate kept the people from falling into the back of the train. So, call goes up again. 香港警察! Too fucking late. Really. They either had to jump, or they had to jump or get arrested. So, Strong Boy jumps. He lands in the river. He lands in the creek. But Rosie was a little afraid. She was really afraid. Strongboy was calling to her, "Come on, Rosie, jump, jump!" Her braid was kind of flickering in the air. Cops were on her tail. Probably about 4 or 5 more rows of seats, and she'll be busted. Exactly, yeah. And with one last, she gasped. Think of Australia. Think of the life that she's going to have in Melbourne. Closed her eyes, and she jumped. The next sound anyone heard was a sickening followed by a blood-curdling scream.
These nuts. Got him!
The police arrived about an hour later into the scene. It was a bloody mess.
No, 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 no!
Yeah. In her hurry, Rosie's braid got caught on that gate. And so as she jumped from that train, the braid, the braid in her face got ripped off. She died instantly. Yeah. It's entire like women on the train. Women screamed, children cried. The officer that was chasing that had been checking ID saw the sight and literally passed out. Literally fainted on spot. No one knew who she was. She had no ID. And again, remember, Rosie had no ID. So no one knew who she was. Strong Boy, he ran away. He did, like, once he had jumped off the train, once he couldn't see Rosie, he actually got out of the river. So he got out of the creek, looked up, and he also saw the horror. He just recoiled in horror and ran away. Never to be heard again. We don't know what happened to Strong Boy. We really, really don't know. Again, welcome in, everybody. Sunshine, good to see you. Sparkle, how are you? I'm sorry. How are you doing today? Good to see you. So we're just telling you. Telling the story of the. Yeah. Okay. DJ Q, good to see you. Welcome in. We're just telling the ghost story of the braided girl from the train. Sparkle, how are you doing today? Good to see you, folks. Sparkle was also on the same season of MasterChef I Am. So, wonderful person. We'll definitely have we'll definitely introduce you a little bit more in a few minutes here. We just have a little bit more of the story left. So the braided girl, story of Rosie, the girl from the braided girl from the train. So, yeah. So yeah, she died so Rosie died on the spot. So, and that stretch of track kept on that stretch of track was still kept on running trains. Time went on, but sooner rather than later, unfortunately, Amanda, yes, but yeah, Rosie, but that same area eventually became the University of Hong Kong, or Chinese University of Hong Kong, or 中文大學 as we call it. Around the 1980s, but probably around 10, 15 years afterwards, a road was built. There was a road that actually was right beside the railway. I don't remember the name of it. There's a name of it. But on that road, on a dark and foggy night, you would see students would actually report of a shot of a woman with a long braid, dressed in all white, walking down the street, walking down the road. Some people have actually seen her face, and when they go to look when they go say Miss, hey 小姐，你喺度搞乜鬼啊？咁乜嘢？ Look in her face, nothing was there. Most people would just run the hell away. Yep, they would see it. Exactly. So, hey, DJ JQ, again, welcome in. So, yes. But no. Remember that name Kevin that we came up over with earlier? Yeah. Kevin was a music major. He was also big into the Happy Ghost series. This was probably around 15 years ago, probably around the early 90s. By this time, that stretch of track had been abandoned. So, because the railway had become more of a metro, so they actually straightened out the rail. So that stretch of rail was a little bit more curvy and kind of made trains slow down. That's why it made it so easy for people to jump off the train, right? Because they had to cross it, so made it easy so the train was moving slowly so that people could train. Now trains are running at 100, 120 kilometers an hour, making the trip from Lowu to Hong Kong in about 34 minutes. I mean, half to about 1/3 of the time of the original trip. that's on the Kowloon Railway today. But yeah, but the Rosie spirit still around. But oh no. Good old Kevin. Kevin, nah, didn't believe that kind of shit. He didn't believe that shit. I'm gonna go get myself a selfie with this ghost. Oh boy. I mean, was that a mistake here? So absolutely no. So perfect. So good. So yeah, you chill, Wasp Spirits, bro. Ty, surprisingly, that was exactly what one of his buddies, Chet, actually told him. Nah, bro, you go. Yeah. It's like, hey, anyone want to come go find the braided girl with me? Nah, bro, you stay. You go. You go find the ghost. Yeah. Oh boy. And that's what Kevin did. But I do see we have a bit of an ad break coming up, so I guess we'll tell you this. We'll finish off the Kevin side of the story in about 30 after we come back from the break here. But I do want to say hi to everybody as well too here. So, they are. But the ghost, the braided girl, had no face because of what happened. Sparkle, how are you doing today, folks? Again, I do want to as I'm kind of as we're doing the rest of that, Kevin. Wait, what's the male version of Karen again? Is it Chad? I think it's Chad. Oh, by the way, folks, I haven't forgotten about the Cards Against Humanity, by the way. So I'm just going to make sure that I have. I'm just going to go through all my redemptions here. Hold on, folks. So again, we have a few seconds here. I'm going to take a look here. So Intense, I haven't forgotten about this. So while we're doing this 90-second ad break, I'm just going to do the. I am going to do the Cards Against Humanity here. So hold on. I'm just going to get the pick a card. So all right. So hold on. Let me see if I get the right window here for you. Oh geez, hold on. There we go. There it is. All right, hold on. I'm just going to see if I can get the light. I'm just going to get the light on here so y'all can see the card. All right. Bit Canadian, but here it is. Penalty blank. That's 5 minutes. Sorry, penalty blank. That's 5 minutes in the box. Let's see what we draw. Penalty Italians. Being Italian is 5 minutes in the box. I mean, no one tell Roberto Luongo that being Italian is was worth 5 minutes in the penalty box. Yes, I know. I mean, Italian. I mean, lasagna, like lasagna on the ice. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's such a heinous crime. What a heinous crime. So, thank you so much for that, here, folks. So, all right, let's go. Sorry, just want to get this. Yes. I mean, Italian penalty. So I know. So simple pancakes for dinner. Nice. Ooh. What kind of things are you putting inside your pancakes? Ooh, actually, hold on. Oh, to cook, yeah. Ooh. If you have any pork belly or bacon, put some of that pork belly or bacon inside your pancake, and then drizzle it with some maple syrup. Trust me, you will not. As a Canadian, you will not regret it. I honestly will say this to you as well too here. So yeah, Kanara, how are you doing today? Good to see you. Again, folks, welcome back. Again, we do have a very special guest joining us and her friend, Sparkle. Sparkle from my season of MasterChef is here with us right now. Sparkle, it is so great to see you. I'm so sorry I haven't had a really chance to say hello to you. Folks, Sparkle is just wonderful. I met her while I was on MasterChef. Wonderful. Also, you know who else is wonderful? Kanara. Tireless champion of food and drink. Folks, you haven't followed Kanara yet, please go give her a follow. So do here. So nothing. Ooh, peanut butter. So yeah, so perfect. Yeah, so so yeah. I don't, Mel. I don't think Sparkle streams. She is a very good friend of ours. So yeah, but it is great to have you as well too here. So yeah, so Kanara is a lie. Kanara is not a lie. Don't. I mean. don't sell yourself short. You are a tireless champion of our community. So, folks, y'all haven't dropped Kinara follow yet. Please do so. So do here. So, anyway, so folks, again, you're just coming in. I do want to give you so just a quick recap. So back of what we told earlier. Rosie, a dim sum cart pusher in Guangzhou during the 1930s, found Strong Boy, a martial arts master, escaped to Hong Kong in 1950, around the 1950s, 1951, 1952. Got away from the border guards, hopped off the train to escape the Hong Kong police, and Rosie met an untimely end, where her beautiful long braid was her undoing. Fast forward to the late 90s, early 2000s. This is Kevin. So actually, it is around early 2000s. So Kevin was a non-believer. He didn't believe in these things. The legend of Rosie and the ghost, the ghost of the braided girl walking around Bin Zai Lo, Yat Tiu Bin Lo. This is the nickname for this road that used to run around this railway line. That is now abandoned. So yes, it's usually during a very foggy night you would see a woman in red with a long braid with no face. Kevin didn't believe that kind of shit. He was one of those people who would watch Ghost Adventures and would probably tell Zach Bagans to his face that he's a fucking lying piece of shit. So, this story has been going on since probably the after the end of the Chinese Civil War. So probably since the 1950s. So yeah, so I guess if you want to put it that way, I mean, yes, I mean, if you're making an escape, yeah, I mean, don't keep your long braid. So I guess vanity will be the end of you. There's a second lesson to this as well too. But anyway, more so. It's a beautiful story here. So and yes, we are going to make another batch of the of our stuffed bell peppers in a few minutes here. But we're going to do some dining by daylight or by candlelight in a little bit here. But after we tell the story. So Kevin doesn't believe this thing. So he was like, and yes. He was having lunch one day in the canteen with Chet and said, "I'm going to prove that this whole braided girl thing is a fucking hoax or a illusion." Chet wasn't exactly a believer, but he wasn't gonna go fuck around with this shit. No, he wasn't gonna go fuck around with this shit. He wasn't gonna go around to Braid one little Braid Road at 2:30 at night on a foggy night and go to pick a fight with the spirits. He said, "No, bro, no. Just exactly like how Tyredon said it. Nah, bro, you go and fuck around with the spirits." And so Kevin, being young, dumb, and full of cum, he did that. Set his alarm for one night. He actually looked at the it was a kind of a foggy night. I mean, fog actually comes off of Tolo Harbor or Tolo Gong quite often. And one night after, probably this was around January, and this is around Chinese New Year as well too. So this is around Chinese New Year. So this is around the same time that the Rosie had taken that fateful train trip. So I think it was like a Lunar New Year, probably around the 7th day of Lunar New Year, or the humanity's birthday. That night, the fog was thick coming off Tolo Harbor and covered the campus. Perfect. Kevin says perfect. I'm going to prove once and for all, the braid girl is a fucking hoax. So he walks out of his dorm, and Timmers will. I do have the Cantonese word of the way here, so I'll write that in just a moment. And actually, no, I'll write it as I'm doing this here. So very, very fitting. So hold on. Oh, that's wrong here. I'm just gonna write this here. So hold on. Just gonna make sure this is blank here. Also to make sure I have this. So walks out of the dorm. He didn't wait. Well, him and Chet were also roommates as well too. So in the dorm. So he walked out so that he didn't wake up Chet. Actually, sorry, I lied. He actually woke up Chet like, Chet, wake up. Huh? Huh? It's 2:30 in the morning. Kevin, what the fuck, man? I'm going to go find the braid girl. Whatever. Dude, what the fuck? I told you not to get me fucking involved. You go fuck around with these fucking things, man. You go do your thing. I'm gonna go back to sleep. Chet put the pillow back over his head and told Kevin to go fuck himself. And I mean, who the fuck? Seriously, Kevin's got some fucking some fucking balls of fucking sticky rice on that motherfucker as well too, right? So anyway, how do you say, babe? 勇敢，好勇. But will be. But again, is it brave or is it foolhardy? We're gonna find out. So he also, again, 2:30 is usually what they call the witching hour, or the dead hour, or I believe in like paranormal parlance, 2 o'clock is the dead hour. Life hour is 2 o'clock p.m. So 2 in the afternoon is life hour. Dead hour is 2 o'clock. So he kind of combined a little bit of the west and the east together here. So he thought going around 2:30 gives him a few minutes to kind of just catch, maybe say the look of the, maybe say a glimpse of the ghost. Sure enough, he walks onto Braid Road. There and right dead ahead, about 500 meters. 500 meters was the bridge. He walks up. He sees the ghost. There you are. There you are. There's a few very misogynistic things that he said as well too here. So I'm gonna prove once and for all you are fucking fake. He walks up. My love, I've been waiting for you. I've been waiting for you for so many years. Where have you been? I can't find my face. Where were you when I was looking for my face? Kevin heard this. Bitch, your face is on your face. Don't be stupid. I can't find my face. I can't find the face. Yes, Kevin called her the B word, the C word, the F word, all in Cantonese and English. So, why did you run away from me? Strong boy, why did you run away from me? I was scared when I jumped. Why did you run away? You ran away. I was almost dying. Come on! You gotta be kidding me, right? Come on. Come closer, my love. I want to see you one more time. So he did. Oh yeah. He wasn't going to be cowed by this shit. Kevin walked up to the bridge. By this time, the bridge was completely covered in, it was the disused old railway bridge. He walked on, so he climbed over the fence, walked on the bridge where the girl was. Come on, bitch, show me your face. Come on, show me your face. I can't show you. Not as beautiful as I once was. Show me your face. I fucking command you. All right. Are you sure? Are you sure, my love? Yes, I'm sure. Come on. I don't got all night. I got exams tomorrow, man. Okay. She lowered her hands. And when she lowered her hands, Kevin saw the face of Rosie with everything gone. Ah! Literally, even to this day, at the Chinese university, on a dark night, on a dark and foggy night, you could hear that conversation replaying over again. At around 2:45, 2:50, you could hear a blood-curdling a blood-curdling scream of a fool who dared to fuck with the supernatural. I don't know. Again, no one knows what happened to Kevin. Some people say he died of a heart attack on there. Some people say he passed away. Some people say he dropped out of school afterwards. No one really knows. Even Chet really doesn't know. I mean, some people actually ask Chet. He didn't know what happened. Kevin never really returned. Kind of just vanished into thin air. Yes. Oh, yeah. She had damn good cheekbones. She definitely had some pretty good cheekbones. Skinless, but you know what I mean, right? So, yeah. Yeah. So, So, lesson 1. When you're escaping, don't have long hair. Don't let vanity get the best of you. Second, don't fuck around with the supernatural, because you never know when they're gonna get you. Yeah, so I always liked your bone structure. That is actually pretty funny, though. That's actually pretty funny. Hold on, I'm actually gonna also finish my Candy's word of the day as well too here. So, yeah. There it goes. So, there it is. So, and don't whistle in the dark. I don't think I've seen that before. No. Yeah, just always good with like. Wait, why not whistle in the dark? And yes, folks. Again, as always, you can always feel free to. If you have any stories, again, you can. If you do have some stories of your own, please feel free to share some of your stories in the chat as well too here. So, but if you do want to hold on to them on the 24th, on October 24th, after I tell you the story of the Angry Ghost Bridge, which is around which is about one train stop away from where the Braided Ghost is, in Taipo. I'll be actually opening up the Discord call for y'all to tell your stories. So, or if you cannot make it that night, you can always record about a 1 or 2 minute story on a video and then send it to me. I can also play it at the time as well too here. So, but yeah, Ty, yeah, Kevin definitely knew, definitely fucked around and found out. And speaking of fucking around with the supernatural, our Cantonese word of the day today is, hold on, mang guai. Mang guai, which literally means poltergeist. So, mang guai. 小妹係變咗做猛鬼. So, Rosie became a poltergeist. So, 猛鬼 is our Cantonese word of the day. Oh, really? Oh, absolutely. I'm so sorry about that too. So, but yeah. I probably should record these stories as well too here. But it started probably around, yeah. No matter what you believe, no matter who you love, what you believe, there's one constant. The supernatural is not to be fucked with. I think that's the only Only thing I want again, I don't know what you believe, who you love, who you worship. I think that's one constant. Even if you believe in nobody, if you believe in nothing, as long as you think things that you don't know are things you should never fuck around. I mean, it's a basic thing, but I guess Kevin decided that he thought that he was going to be, yes. I mean, Guai Lo is a little bit different, literally means white person, but Bang Guai literally means, Guai means ghost. So, I mean, there's other words as well too. So, pair it with the word Guai, Ngo Guai means hungry ghost, which is a Buddhist. I believe it's a Buddhist. It's part of Buddhist hell, where you as a spirit aren't allowed to eat or can't eat. You're doomed to not being able to eat for a couple hundred years. So that's a Ngo Guai or Zao Guai, which